Hey guys, what's going on? HexyTCG here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be going over another one of our deck lists that we have created. This time, we are going to have our actual first Bleach deck in the YouTube channel. I originally wasn't planning to make any Bleach content, to be honest. Like, I do like Bleach. I'm just honestly not the biggest fan of it. I prefer the other anime that's currently out in the Union Arena field for us instead. But after I went to a few of the events for the pre-release for Volume 2, as well as Black Clover, I realized that this zombie deck seemed like it would be something that was pretty cool. Obviously, most of these cards are in Volume 2, and then some of them are also in Volume 1, specifically the Bambietta Raid that everyone is familiar with. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into what we've got for you guys as well. So we're going to start out, as we always do, with our zero costs. We currently have 4 of these Bambietta Bastardbind. I'll just say Bambietta or Bambi, whichever one anyone calls her. She's just going to be our basic vanilla raid target for the Bambietta raid. Of course, as usual, it's going to be a 1500 BP, generate 1 energy for us, and it has a get trigger. Next zero that we have is going to be a 0-1 Giselle. She's going to give us the win played, draw a card, sideline 1, so the good old cycle that everyone likes to have in their decks. She's also going to be 1500 BP and have a draw trigger as well, generating us 1 energy. And with her being one of our other zeros, we're only going to run 4 of her. And then for our last zero as well, we are going to be running 4 of this Meninas, however you say it. I honestly do not know. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, we are going to be running 4 of her as well. She's going to be our higher BP character, the 2000 BP, generating us 1 energy as well. This deck, I honestly was fine with having 12 zeros. Usually I don't run 12, I run at least 10 or 11, just because I like to try to fit in more things as well. This is the second variation of the zombie deck I've made. I had a different one before I started this recording, but as I was playtesting yesterday, I kind of like this little mix as well. But I also found out from the person I played against that they had another version, so I might go try theirs out, and I might upload another like volume 2 of my own for this Bleach zombie deck. But jumping into our next card, we're going to have the 1-1 Lil Toto. Pretty much she's going to be our searcher. She allows us to play her on the field. As we play her, we reveal the top 3 cards of our deck. We don't just get to see them ourselves, we have to also show our opponent, of course, because it tells us to reveal it. And then as soon as you do that, you get to add one of the Bambi affinities or the Bambietta Bastardbind cards specifically to your hand. And if you choose to add a card to your hand, you place 1 card from your hand as well into your sideline. But then also with the way this card works too, you just place the remaining cards into your sideline instead of the bottom deck. So honestly, I like this card a lot because with it being a zombie deck, the fact that you're choosing to replay your zombies from your sideline, usually if I'm searching for anything, I'm searching for the lower cost characters or maybe a raid target specifically, being the 4 cost, the 4 energy 1 action point Bambietta, or even the 4-2 Giselle. Those are the 2 I'm usually searching for. Sometimes I'm also searching for the 2-1 Bambi that I'll go over right after this guy as well. And the reason I do that is because with you getting to sideline all the characters after you reveal all 3, usually you want to keep your zombies in your sideline because this deck is based off of reviving your zombies. And so, as I said, we search the top 3, reveal them to our opponent, pick 1 card out that at least is within the required field of Bambis or Bambietta, and we'll just move along with that. She's going to also have 1500 BP and generate us 1 energy. We'll be running 4 of her, so that way we can consistently search throughout our deck as we need to. Next card is going to be that 2-1 Bambietta Bastardbind that I was talking about. With this character, whenever she is played, you get to choose 1 character with 3500 or less BP on your opponent's front line and switch it to resting. She's also going to have 2000 BP and generate 1 energy. We're only going to run 3 of her. I might change that up, might not, I'm not super sure yet. Might take out one of the zeros and push this one up instead because I do find myself kind of wanting to use this card a little bit more, but some decks are starting to move away, in my opinion, from having 3500, and I'm only running 1 card right now, which is the next card that I'll go after right after this Bambietta. It's just a card that allows me to go ahead and subtract the BP of the opponent's characters on their front line. So yeah, this one's going to have 2000 BP, generate 1 energy for us, and we're only running 3 like I said, but I might push it up in the future. Next card, it's going to be our 3-1 Candace Catnip. She's going to be a character, so whenever you play her, all characters with 1000 or more BP on your opponent's front line lose 500 until the end of the turn. I think I accidentally said that they lose 1000, but I didn't mean to say 500, so This Candace honestly helps us get those raids that our opponents will have on their front line drop down from 4,000 to at least 3,500, which is going to be really nice because after we play the Katniss, or I keep saying Katniss, but Candace, she will allow us to drop our opponents down low enough so we can play this Bambietta to go ahead and rest a raid character. And then after that, we'll be able to use this raid Bambi as well, but we'll go over that in just a second. But with this Candace, we will be running 4 of her. She is also going to be our active trigger, so whenever we take her from life, we'll end up switching a character that's rested on our field, set it to active, and they gain 3000 BP till the end of the turn. But this Candace also will generate 2 energy as well for each card, so it is pretty helpful to find earlier on, and then honestly it's a bit better for mid to late game, so that way you can continue to keep getting those raids out, or even the other 4Ks that we have coming up. Next card that we have coming up in the list as well, it's going to be one of our zombies, our first zombie. This is going to be Toshiro Hitsugaya. Whenever you play him, if you played him based off of a character ability, then you get to choose one character on your opponent's front line and switch it to resting, no matter what the BP is. So this also helps us with our Bambi raid. So that way, whenever we raid with that Bambi, it'll set any character on the opponent's front line that's rested into their sideline. So it's kind of like a setup for our kill spell. We're running 4 of him because I feel like it's best to run as many zombies as you can, so you can play off of those effects with the next character that we will go over in just a second. But this is going to be another one of our active triggers, so if it pops up from our life, it is pretty nice to see him in life as well if you don't get to draw him, because you do get to boost something on your front line and give your character on your front line more BP to protect yourself in your field. And then because it usually will get sidelined with any triggers like that, it just helps you set up for the whole zombie effects that you need later on in the match. So we're running 4 of him because I feel like the zombies are very important for this deck, being based around them anyway. And so our next character that helps us bring out everything about this zombie deck is going to be this Giselle right here, our 4 energy 2 AP Giselle. And with her, when you play her, if you have a combined total of 3 or more Bambi's affinity, zombie affinity, or even the Bambietta cards on your field, you draw 2 cards, then place 2 cards from your hand into your sideline. That's honestly pretty nice. It's kind of like our Esper Sisters, where when we raid with the Hellish Blizzard, we get to draw 2 immediately. The only difference with this one, we get to sideline 2 cards as well. So sometimes when you draw the 2 cards, it helps you find some more zombies, and then if you don't find any zombies but you had some in your hand, it allows you to go ahead and just get rid of some of those zombies right then as well. The other part of this character, when you activate her main, as long as she's on the front line only, once per turn, you can sideline a character on your field that does not have zombie affinity, and if you do, you place 1 yellow character card with zombie affinity from your sideline set to active onto your field. And so with that being said, usually when I'm sidelining any character, I like to try to sideline this Menina's, just because I feel like with her sideline ability, as long as there's a character with 2000 or less BP on your opponent's front line, you get to switch it to resting. If I used a Catnip, or I keep saying her name completely wrong. If I used a Candace, pretty much with her being able to lower the BP of the characters, if I can drop it down low enough, it helps out. Sometimes it's not very helpful, but it just kind of depends on the condition of the game or how it's playing out and when I get the chance to play everybody out in their certain orders. But yeah, also, once you get to play a zombie, the zombies we get to play are either going to be the Toshiro or the other Bambi, which we'll go over that one in a little bit. But yeah, this is pretty much going to be our main character that we want to try to keep alive, so that way we can keep bringing our zombies back to life over and over again. Our next character is going to be our 4/1 Bambietta Bastard Bean. With this raid character, it's pretty much going to help us out for whenever we play either our event that we will go over in a little bit, or whenever we play the other Bambi, which is going to be the 2/1 Bambi that allows us to rest a character. But with the raid target Bambi, whenever we play her as a raid, over top of any of her little fodder cards, it will allow us to sideline any character on the opponent's front line that is set to resting. So this helps us out a lot with the fact that we also have Toshiro as well too, who, as long as we played him with Giselle out of our sideline, he allows us to switch anybody on the front line set to resting as well. So we either go with Toshiro, switch any BPs to resting no matter what it is, and then also we have the Bambietta, who can switch anybody that's at least 3500 or less on their front line to resting. And so that's honestly why we're going to run 4 of these raid targets right here, because it's going to help us out with removing anything from the front line, just another type of kill spell. even though it's not a event, it is just a character, but yeah, it allows us to do what we need to do. Our next character after that is going to be the other Bambi, that's the zombified form, which is going to be our 4-1. When played, choose this. If this character is played with an ability, you get to draw a card. So if you play her from Giselle, pick a card from the top of your deck, add it to your hand. You don't have to worry about sidelining anything with this, luckily. But it also has an activate main ability where you pay 1 AP, and once per turn, this character will gain impact, which is pretty nice to allow you to swing right into your opponent's life. We're going to be running 4 of those as well because it is our color trigger, and because we love yellow so much, we love the ability that it has, which allows us to choose one character on our opponent's front line, switch it to resting, and it will remain set to resting the next time it would be switched to active. And so 4 of those are going, or we're going to also run 4 of those because it's one of our zombies, and we would like to have as many zombies as possible. Alright, so now that all of our characters are done and talked about, we'll go into our events, and for usually, we're always going to run 4 of these final triggers, which we all know. As long as we have, if this is the last card in our life, we get to go ahead and add a card to the top of our deck. This also allows us to stand 2 AP if we play it during our main phase. We're going to run 4 of those as always. Our next card, we're going to run 4 special triggers as well. With this special trigger, you get to choose one of your opponents choose one of the opponents on the front line with BP equal to or less than 1,000 multiplied by the combined total of Bambis or Bambietta Bastard Bean, and then sideline it after that. So if you have at least 4 of these Bambis or Bambiettas on your field, you'll be able to go ahead and sideline something, or 4 or more, I'll say actually. And then our last card is going to be our jail. This is the other event I was talking about that helps us with our Bambi raid. But this event allows you to choose one character on your opponent's front line and switch it to resting, which is really nice. It also gives us a active trigger, so if we pull it from our life, we can go ahead, set something back to active, and then give it 3000 BP. But that's going to be it for this deck profile. I have another deck profile for the zombies that I might go ahead and upload a video of. I just want to go ahead, test it out, see how I personally like it, and see if it fits with my personal playstyle. And then if it does work out with me, then I will upload it as well. If I don't upload it as a deck profile, I might just upload it as a regular video, just so you guys can see some gameplay of that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by. This is my Zombies deck for Bleach Volume 2. If you guys have any opinions on it, or if you have any comments or concerns about it, please drop them in the comments and I'll reach out to you as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.